Let's get you to pass that real estate exam. And how we're going to do that? With practicing lots of national questions and then state questions for Texas. So stay tuned to do a lot of more questions for this evening. And anybody watching the replay, this class is designed to let students participate. So if you're watching the replay, hey, just fast forward between questions. And if you have any questions or comments, type down in the comments below. This is Lillie Hendy coming to you from San Antonio, Texas with YouTube AgentPrep. So let's get going. Oh, I guess I got to share the screen, huh? All right, here we go. We're continuing with test number 1 on national questions. And anybody watching on Facebook, remember to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give Facebook permission to post your name. So, because Facebook is protective, okay, of our names on any other social media or streaming software. And I'm using StreamYard. All right. Number 1.11, a waterfront homeowner has just died. What will become of the water rights the owner enjoyed while living in the home? A, they revert to the state when the property is sold. B, they are extinguished. C, they are a special personal belonging to an individual owner not attaching to the real property. Or D, they transfer with the property when the property is sold. Okay, so these are water rights the owner enjoyed while living. So homeowner passed away and the property is probably going to be sold. So certain rights are attached to the property, others are not. So what do you think this one is? Type your answer in the chat. Hi, Asya or Asia. Not sure which is correct. And yes, the answer here is D. They transfer when the property is sold. Very good. So, all right, number 12. Riparian rights. So remember, R for R. I won't tell you what the first R is. We know this one is riparian rights concerns which of the following bodies of water? A, lakes. B, seas and oceans. C, streams and rivers. Or D, navigable lakes. So again, this is definitions. When you know the definitions or you know a lot of them, then you're able to answer a lot of the questions. So type your answer in the chat. So folks are coming in slowly but surely. The closer it gets to the Christmas holidays, probably the less people will show. But except for those very consistent and dedicated, wanting to pass their exam before the end of the year. That's what I did when I first started. Okay, so okay, who's this person from Facebook? I don't see you. Oh, it's Sherry. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. And yes, the answer is C. Streams and rivers. So R for riparian, R for rivers. And then L for littoral and L for lakes, seas and oceans, standing water. the opposite of streams and rivers. Okay. So if you can go, I'm sorry, Sherry, to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give Facebook permission or StreamYard permission to post your name from Facebook on here, we will get to see your name. Hi, Inga. Good evening. So if you can go here, anybody watching on Facebook, you can go to StreamYard. Oops, misspelled, not stream.com. It's StreamYard.com/Facebook. And then you get permission to post your name on here, because I am using a StreamYard software and Facebook wants to give permission to post your name on here. That way you can see it like Inga instead of just Facebook. Luckily, I've got both Facebook and YouTube going, so I get to see the names. All right, number 13. Okay. Which of the following best describes a fixture? What is a fixture? A, any item of personal property positioned within the boundaries of a parcel of real estate. B, any item of personal property that has been converted to real property. C, an item of real property temporarily placed on land for the purpose of conducting a business. Or D, an item of personal property that has been left in one location for a period of 6 months. So what is a fixture? There are different types of fixtures, but right here they're just, mentioning a general fixture. Again, vocabulary. So some fixtures go with the property, other fixtures do not. So which one is this one? Miss Bailey, don't look at me so sad. Talking to my neighbor's dog that I bring to visit me. Her name is Miss Bailey, or I call her Miss Bailey. All right, no answers? Come on, type your answer in the chat. Okay, the answer is 11.1.13b. Any item of personal property that has been converted to real property. So a fixture becomes part of a home when it's attached to the home, and it goes with the property. It cannot be removed. I mean, yes, anything can be removed, right? But it's designed to be, or the intent is to be attached to the home, like provide electricity, a stove that's built in, chandeliers, mirrors, anything that is part of the home and has been attached by one form or another. And what was the intent and the agreement? So you remember, if you ever watch Prep Agent, he talks about Maria. So one of it is, what is the intention and agreement? The method. So 1.13b. Now, the other type of fixture is a trade fixture, right? On letter C, it was an item of real property temporarily placed on land for the purpose of conducting a business. So that is for businesses that the fixtures go with them. If they're a dentist or a doctor, or a masseuse, or any other type of business, that they bring their equipment and install it in the property. Well, the owner doesn't want to keep those types of fixtures, so they go with the lessee. They go with their business. All right, number 14. So for those of you who just came in, we're doing national questions that applies to all 50 states. An item may be considered personal property as opposed to real property, provided that A, the owner intended to remove it after a period of time. B, it can be removed without altering the appearance of the structure. C, it is unnecessary to the physical integrity of the structure. Or D, the owner installed it at some time after acquiring the real property. So an item may be considered personal property, okay, as opposed to real property. So what situation is provided with a personal property? Y'all heard of chattel, cattle, moves? So type your answer in the chat. Oh, this is 114. Okay, anybody? Type your answer. Come on, this is the time to do it. This is the time to practice and take a risk. Remember, life is a risk. Go ahead and type your answers. And should it be incorrect, I'll help to provide the correct answer by explaining it so that we can understand. Okay, so far I have B. And it is not B. Okay. The answer is actually A. The owner originally intended to remove it after a period of time. So consider an item that is considered personal property as opposed to real property. So you've got picture frames. So you put a little nail on the wall and you hang picture frames, accessories or things like that, are personal property. A fence that it just sits on top of the land, but it's not dug into, it's not attached, no concrete, no posts that are permanently, then it is personal property. Hi, Cindy. Good evening. So the answer is A. Let's see, we had two B's. It can be removed without altering the appearance of the structure. No, a fixture is actually conducive to provide certain activities for the home. Therefore, even if it were to be removed without altering the appearance, they shouldn't remove it. Like, let's say you take a chandelier, but you leave the attachment on the top, right? To make it look like there wasn't one. Well, there actually was, right? Because there's electrical circuits or wiring that's there. So it has to be replaced. If the seller is going to, hi, Tanya. If the seller is going to take it, they can replace it. They have to replace it with something else when it is a fixture. For example, plants are considered a fixture. They go with the land. Those that are dug into the land, you dig a hole and you put a plant in there. Well, that becomes part of the land. Some individuals do dig them out and leave a big old hole, okay, and take them. Well, they're not supposed to do that. So it is not that it can be removed without altering the appearance of the structure. You can remove things that don't alter the structure yet could leave holes, or they were intended to be there to provide electricity, to provide water, to provide, the countertop that's on there. Yeah, it could be removed, but it provides a purpose. It's an attachment to the house. So it's not not be removed without altering the appearance of the structure. Okay, it is an item that the owner intended to remove after a period of time. That is personal property. Anything you can grab and easily take it out. Okay, that is personal. It's yours. It goes with the person. It's chattel, like cattle moves, chattel property is personal property, is chattel. Did anybody answer anything else? No. All right, number 15. Two people own a house. So what you might want to do is go review the acronym MARIA that Joe Juder explains on his Prep Agent channel. And you can Google MARIA. And that's what defines a fixture. Okay. It's an acronym for 5 words. I think it's a method, application, reason why I was installed, the intended, and the agreement. Something like that. I don't have it memorized. All right, number 15. Two people own a house, each having an undivided equal interest. Okay, undivided equal interest. Which of the following best describes what each party owns? A, 50% of the physical house and the land it rests on. B, 100% of the home and the land. C, 50% of the estate consisting of the indivisible whole of the real property. Or D, each owns 100% of the estate represented by the real property and 50% of the physical house and the land it rests on. So if you're a couple that's married, or two individuals that have equal ownership, however, undivided. So a person gets to enjoy and use the whole property, not just a portion of the house, a portion of the land, unless it was subdivided that way from the beginning. The answer is not D, Inga. Take another attempt. The answer is actually C. 50% of the estate consisting of the indivisible whole of the real property. In other words, they get to enjoy the whole. However, they have equal interest, which means they each own 50% of the real property, of the real estate. When it's sold, each one gets 50%, okay, of the proceeds, or they are each responsible for 50 and 50 of the expenses. So undivided means they get to use the whole property 100%. However, they each own financially, okay, and per the deed, 50% of the revenue, of the interest in the property, of the proceeds. And they both have to agree to sell the property. So Asia says, oh, wow, yeah. So let's see, you mentioned B, 100% of the home and land. No. Keep in mind, it says undivided, and then it says what? Equal interest. Okay, equal interest means they each own 50-50. However, they get to enjoy the whole property undivided. Okay, they get to use the whole property. So when you're a couple or you're married, okay, you don't get to enjoy just half of the property, right? When it's equal interest. No, you get to enjoy 100% of the property, but you only own 50% of it. So the physical versus the financial is different. So the undivided is the physical. The equal interest is the financial aspect of it. Better type the right answer here. All right, got it? Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. Number 16. You know, I thought I had super chat already add it to my streaming to where if y'all wanted to get your names noticed or contribute, it would show up. Do any of you see that at your end where you have a choice to add super chat or super thanks, or what's the other? Yeah, it's called the super chats. When individuals go streaming, you can be acknowledged or pointed out and people contribute. All right, number 16, because I can't see it on my end and I know it's active. Okay, number 16, a real property interest. Okay, real property interest that includes the right to possess is considered A, an estate and land, B, a leasehold estate, C, a fee simple estate, or D, the bundle of rights. So they have real property interest. So when you own real estate, you have a real interest in that property. Okay, an estate is you have an interest in real property. And the real property is what? The land and the improvements. And so real property interest that includes the right to possess it. So individuals can have the what was it, the bundle of rights I spoke about on, what was it, today's Wednesday, on Monday, right? And there are 5 things that go along with bundle of rights or a fee simple estate. So this one is just mentioning it. One thing includes the right to possess is considered. The right to possess is considered. All right, so I have CCA. And the answer is going once, going twice, gone. The answer is A, an estate in land, an interest in land when you can possess it. So interests are principally distinguished by whether they include possession. If the interest holder enjoys the right of possession, the party is considered to have an estate in land. Okay, like a life estate, a lease estate. And then to have an estate in land, or familiarly an estate. Freehold and leasehold estates in land are further distinguished, okay, by whether the duration of the owner's rights can be determined. So when you have a leasehold estate, that's like you're a tenant, okay? You're enjoying the property for a certain period of time. So a leasehold estate, a freehold has no limits on how you can enjoy it. And leasehold is when there's a lease, okay, on that property. So like tenants or leasing land, okay? So the freehold and leasehold estates in land are further distinguished by whether the duration of the owner's right can be determined. So the answer is A, an interest in land. So go back and review the vocabulary for fee simple, estate, and the bundle of rights. And leasehold estate and an estate in land. So an estate in land that they could possess is they have an interest in land. So remember the bundle of rights, if they have the right to possess, enjoy, encumber, possess, enjoy, encumber, lease, and restrict somebody from coming in there. I think those are the five different things on the bundle of rights. Let me look it up real quick. bundle of rights in real estate. So when you have a fee simple type of ownership, you have a bundle of rights. And they mention 5 different things. The right to enjoy. Well, it says here there are 4 bundle of rights. The right to possess, the right to control. That means you can exclude somebody. The right of exclusion, the right of enjoyment, and the right of disposition. Actually, that's 5. The right to possess, the right to control the land, the right to exclude anyone, the right to enjoy it, and the right to dispose of it. So when you have control of it, you can encumber it. When you have full possession, you can dispose of it, you can sell it, you can encumber it with a loan. And so, for example, a buyer of a rental property may have rights that are limited by local landlord tenant. So that is a limited type of rights, right? They have the right to possess and enjoy, but they don't have the right to exclude or the right to dispose of it, sell it, okay? And they control it only while they are there, okay? But the owner can come in by giving them 24-hour notice and say, hey, I need to get into the property. Oh, so now I remember, well, I don't remember, I saw it. The way you remember bundle of rights is called deep C. Double equals deep C, the letter C. I've forgotten that's how you can remember them, okay? So when you remember that acronym, deep C, you can remember the bundle of rights. So the bundle of rights with a deep C is the right to dispose, enjoy, right to sell, the right, well, it's not tell me, the right to dispose, the right to enjoy, the right to encumber, the right to, possess and control. Okay. So deep C, remember it that way. I hadn't looked that up in a long time. All right. So, hey, Google things. You find an answer really quick. Not always, but you can find one really quick that way.
I'm always learning more.
Oops. That's my Google. And I have it on Do Not Disturb. All right, here. iPhones have Sirius, right? And Siri. And Androids have Google. Ask Google. It says, okay, Google. Oops. Yeah, there it comes. Ha! It doesn't always work. All right, number 17. The right to control land usage by zoning and eminent domain vocabulary is an example of A, public interest, B, police interest, C, an encumbrance, or D, an estate in law. The right to control land usage by zoning and eminent domain is an example of the right to control land usage. So type your answer in the chat. No, it is not police interest. You were thinking of police power. That means the police would have an interest in it, and that's not it. One of the police powers, include zoning and eminent domain. So what does it, hi Sophia, so what does it provide? So the right to control land usage by zoning and eminent domain is an example of, the answer here is a public interest. It's the interest of individuals. And eminent domain is one of the police powers where the police power can take property for public use, right? So for public interest. So is zoning. Zoning is to control and help where homes can be developed, businesses, industrial, agriculture, okay, and review the planning and inspections of anything that is structured for the safety of the public. So encumbrance, well, no, those are not encumbrance. Encumbrance is like a lien, a mortgage, or it can also be an easement, right? Because it's attached to the land. But easements aren't necessarily negative. Just some owners, some individuals don't like to buy property with an easement. However, out in the country, yes. Okay, so whoever answered B, let's see, that was, how come I don't see your name? Well, am I posting on the wrong place here? Okay, so public interest, you were thinking of public powers and police powers. So there's 4 police powers, right? That's not the situation here. So what right to control land usage by zoning and eminent is for public interest, okay? Oh, or that's Lisbeth. No, oh yeah, Lisbeth answered B. Okay, got it. How you doing, Beth? I don't get to see your name when you're on Facebook like that. If the duration of an owner's rights in an estate is not determinable, the owner has what? A tendency of sufferance, B, a least fee simple estate, C, a freehold estate, or D, a leasehold estate. So if the duration of an owner's rights in an estate is not determinable, the owner has, oh, hi, Deb. Thanks for joining us. Hey, this is an awesome night. There's a whole bunch of you here, so take advantage and participate. Okay, so if the duration of an owner's rights in an estate is not determinable, okay, doesn't have a start and an end, which we don't know when they're going to leave, right? Yes. So Sophia and Lisbeth answered C, and the answer is C, a freehold estate. Okay, who else? Deb answered C. And so pretty good. We had quite a few C's on here. Did I type the answer on there? No. Okay, so what is a freehold estate? Okay, is the type of estate where the person has a right or owns title to the real property for an unspecified amount of time. So when a person buys a piece of property, we don't know how long they're going to own it, right? Until they decide to put it on the market and sell it. So they have a freehold estate, fee simple estate. They have all the bundle of rights. A lot of different names, right? So let's see, what's another definition? A freehold estate is a type of real property. It comes with indefinite ownership, which you can essentially pass on forever. So individuals can keep it in a trust or in some other estate, right, and pass it on to family. So the family keeps owning it. All right, number 19. The distinguishing feature of a leasehold estate is, so what makes a leasehold estate different from others? What is the distinguishing feature? A, ownership of an interest by a tenant. B, oh, can't see it at all. Sorry about that. Temporary ownership of the bundle of rights in a property. C, unlimited ownership of one right in the bundle of rights in a property. Or D, that the estate is limited by a lease term. So the distinguishing feature of a leasehold estate. So that's, well, I was going to say almost the answer. So type your answer in the chat. So what makes a leasehold estate different from other estates? So I'll give you a little bit more time for others to answer, because there's quite a few. That's exciting. I have a whole bunch of you on here tonight. At least 19 or no, 13 that I can see. Money, a lot of you want to pass your exams, right? It is not C and it is not A. The answer is actually D, that the estate is limited by a lease term. So a leasehold estate is usually a lease, okay, by a tenant. So ownership of an interest by a tenant, they don't own an interest. They're leasing it. They have the right to possess and enjoy. However, they do not have ownership. So that's where A is incorrect. And C, unlimited ownership of one right in the bundle of rights in a property. No, they actually have the right to use several bundles, the right to possess and the right to enjoy. It's not an unlimited ownership. Ownership is when someone has a title to the property, the deed to the property, which could include a loan or not. Okay, do you all get that? So the distinguishing factor is that there is a lease term. There's a start and end date. Ooh, number 20 is a wordy one. Okay, number 20. A landowner conveys, okay, transfers. What's another name? Abandons, right? When you transfer, you convey, you sell a parcel of property with the provision that the land cannot be developed for retail purposes. The new owner immediately begins to develop a retail shopping outlet. Duh. The grantor finds out and takes the property back. What kind of an estate did this landowner convey? A fee simple absolute, life estate with reversion, life estate with condition subsequent, or D, fee simple defeasible. Vocabulary, 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 and more vocabulary. Think about it. So this landowner, they own it, they convey it, but with a condition. So it's for public use. So they still have control and power over that piece of property. All right, we've got D and C. All right, let's look at this, okay? It says a landowner conveys. When you convey, you're giving it, you're transferring title, you're transferring ownership, but there is a red flag condition on it. It doesn't come with a limit. A life estate has a limit. It's for the life of that individual, okay? And it reverts back to the owner. The landowner conveys a parcel of property to someone else to use the land, but not use it for retail purposes. They can build a church, they can build a university, a library, something else that is going to be used for the public, or a park. Therefore, they have fee simple. They have all the bundle of rights, with the exception of developing real retail purposes, okay, retail property. So it is fee simple, defeasible. It has a strict condition on it that should they violate that, the owner takes it back. The new owner immediately begins to develop a retail shopping outlet. They didn't understand what the heck defeasible was. The grantor finds out and takes the property back. So the owner granted it, okay, gifted it, conveyed it with a condition. So the title was conveyed only if they followed the rules of using it for public use, others than a retail business, okay? So the answer is D, fee simple, defeasible. All got it? Let's see, you had with reversion, that's when they're leaving you to someone there for the rest of their life, and it goes back to the owner. Title is not conveyed. They do not own it. Okay, so landowner conveys. That means they transferred that piece of land. They awarded that piece of land for public use. So it is not a life estate. So the word life means they have an interest on that property for the rest of their life, and then it goes back to the original owner, or it can go to a remainder man. Okay, it could have said with revision or remainder man. Okay, fee simple as absolute, that's if the owner, that's for the owner who actually owns it, has all the bundle of rights. So life estate, it is not, because they're like tenants. They're for the rest of their life. When you use the word conveys, okay, that is the key word, conveys, then it is a fee simple. They have almost everything that fee simple absolute has, with the exception of using it however the heck they want. Y'all get it? Did I say hi to Tanya? Probably not, right? I don't see Tanya earlier. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to miss anybody. I like to acknowledge everyone in class. It's like going to a store, right? And you go in to do shopping, clothing, or whatever, and there's salespeople around there and they don't greet you. Come on now, say hi. So anyway, I was in sales. I mean, I'm still in sales, okay, but a different types of sales. I did all kinds of clothing, jewelry, insurance, cosmetics. Used to knock door to door. Boy, I hated that, man. Trying to get $20 from everybody, called combined insurance. Everybody's got $20 in their pocket. Well, a lot of people are insurance free. I mean, insurance poor. Yeah, Sophia, it's your first time here. Great. Welcome. So I'm glad you're participating. Let's see. Are you? Yes, you are. Awesome. That's what's good. 21. Ned grants his sister Alice an estate for as long as she lives. Her descendants, however, cannot inherit the estate. What kind of estate is it? A, an estate per autre vie, French, right? B, an estate for years. C, an ordinary life estate, or D, a legal life estate? So it's an estate for as long as she lives, okay, to his sister. So what kind of interest did that sister have in that piece of land? So what does it say? Grants his sister an estate for as long as she lives. So what does that tell you? Okay, it's going to be for the life. So it's not A or B. So it's either C or D. Ordinary life or legal life. I'll give you a moment more to type an answer. Oh, I've got A, D, C, C, D, D, and A. Well, a lot of participants, a lot of different answers. And the answer is C, an ordinary life estate. So it says here, let's see what the answer says. A life estate is limited in duration to the life of the owner or other named person. Upon the death of the owner, the ordinary life estate, or other named individual per atra v life estate, the estate passes to the original owner, which is reversionary interest, or another named party, a remainder man, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Thus, with the life estate, the owner enjoys full ownership during the estate period. So for the life of that person, right? An estate for as long as she lives, for her whole life, the rest of her life. So that is an ordinary life estate. So thus, with the life estate, the owner enjoys full ownership rights during the estate period, and holders of the future interest own either a reversionary or remainder interest. So Alice gets to use it, possess, enjoy. She can't encumber it. Sometimes they lease it themselves and make money, but because she has the right to use it and possess it as long as she lives. However, cannot sell it or convey it to someone else. So an estate per atra v. So let's see, with conventional life estates are created by the actions of a grantor. Legal life estates are created automatically by law. So D, a legal life estate, is if the courts gave that is a recorded legal life estate assigned by the courts. Okay, automatically created by the court. So the owner has a legal life estate. And then let's see, other types of ownership. Oh no, those are the 4 types of ownership. So the legal life estate is automatic, and the conventional life estate, which is the original life estates, are created by actions of the grantor. And who is the grantor? Ned, right? Ned is the grantor who grants to Alice to use the land for the rest of her life. Okay, the legal life estate is automatic. It is not granted by the owner. All right, so the answer there was C, or is C. I sometimes have to look these up, right? Because I don't use them that often. You're going to find out that a lot of these terms, a lot of these questions you're not going to use. However, it's important. You never know. You may get asked, or you may end up helping somebody else. All right, number 22. Homestead estates are examples of homestead estates, right? An interest in real estate. What kind of interest in real estate? Or examples of a conventional life estate, B, a legal life estate, C, an estate created by an owner's agreement, or D, a fee simple absolute. So something that becomes legally automatic. Okay, so that's the difference from an ordinary life estate and a legal life estate for ordinary versus conventional. So what does a homestead? So when individuals purchase a property that they live in, they're protected by a homestead, which is automatic. They don't have to apply for it. It's their primary residence. Therefore, it's an automatic estate. Homestead. And it is for protecting them from certain creditors from taking their property. Now, property taxes can still foreclose. A lender where they owe money to in a mortgage can still foreclose. However, credit card people and other type of creditors cannot take the property when it is a homestead. So a homestead is automatic. And so what did I mention that I read a little bit earlier? That a legal life estate are created automatically by law. That is a homestead. So the homestead is automatically created by a legal life estate. Okay, they are there for their life until they sell it. Okay, however, it is legally a part of the state that provides that type of an estate, a homestead, which provides tax reductions and protection from certain creditors. Not predators, but they could be predators, right? Trying to get the person's money or property, or talk them into selling, or talking into doing something that they shouldn't. All right, so we have a question. So the answer there is B, okay, legal life estate. Many of you answered an estate created by an owner's agreement. No, a homestead, there doesn't have to be an owner's agreement. It is when an owner purchases a property, they are the primary owner. It automatically becomes a homestead per the state law. So it is a legal life estate. It's automatic. Okay, so even the tax benefits are automatic. Yes and no. All right, so if they want to have the tax reduction exemption, they do have to go and fill out a form with the county tax assessor or the county appraisal district. They don't get the tax exemption automatic. They are granted that tax exemption automatic. However, there is a document, a one-page document, at least here in Texas, that has to be filled out in order to start getting that homestead tax exemption. Okay, so it is in the state of Texas, I think it's like 25,000 reduction on certain taxes, okay, not on all the taxes, okay, and so it's 25% reduction or 25,000 reduction on certain parts of the tax rates. So as much as it is automatic, it doesn't show up in our property tax assessed value or appraised value by the tax assessors to automatically have that reduction. Okay, so I had a property owned and I had it under an LLC. Well, I owned it. I'm the primary owner. However, the homestead is not protecting me because I had it under an LLC. I don't get the benefit of a tax $25,000 tax reduction because it's on an LLC. So I moved it from my primary residence from an LLC back to my name and applied, filled out that form. Okay. Hi, Kamanani. Nice to see you. You took the exam, missed 54. Oh, so you missed it by 2, 54 out of 56. And for the state, 20 out of 21. Ah, you are so close. Awesome. You're going to get it next time. Keep doing what you're doing and do a little bit more. Reorganize whatever you're studying and focus on the things that you were weak on. But don't forget about the other ones. Just focus more to understand the topics that you were weak on. Do a lot more questions on those. And continue your vocabulary. Nice hair. Yeah, I chopped it really short. Easy to care for. And I don't have to wear my, I love baseball caps, okay? And I have a whole bunch of them next to me, right? So I can change baseball caps like crazy. Look at that. See? I got a whole bunch of them. Damn. I keep them next to my desk. You know, I've been wearing baseball caps since I was a kid. Says you need 100 on both to pass. Actually, you need a 70% in order to pass, not 100. So she got what she showed here was that let's see here. So in the national, you get 80 questions, and in order to pass, you need 70%. So that would be 56. In the state exam, you are graded on 30, even though you get 40 questions. And that's because those in brokers that are taking the broker license, they get 60 questions. So you get 40 questions, but you get graded on 30. So with a 70 score, you must get 21 correct. And she got 20 out of 21 and 54 out of 56 from the total of 80. So that's a 70 score from the total of 80. Awesome, Caps. Yeah, I didn't show them all, man. I have a whole bunch. And individuals gift them to me because they see that I like to wear them when I jog, when I play racquetball, things like that. All right, so you see, very good. However, yeah, I chopped my hair down really short. I went and got it cut, and I still wasn't totally satisfied. So, during COVID, I cut my hair for 2 years. And man, I learned. and do I do it correctly? Probably not. I chop it up and it ends up all weird. But hey, it works. Okay, what question was that? 122. All right. 122 was B. I'm posting it on Facebook. So I have to post on, when I post it on here, it doesn't show up on Facebook. But when I post the answer on Facebook, it shows up on here. So in order to get all media, I've got to post in both places. Okay, number 23. Luis owned a boat and a house before marrying Barbara. Okay. Louis owned a house and a boat before marrying Barbara. While she was single, Barbara owned a new car. Yoo-hoo! The two got married and bought a second home. As a wedding present, Barbara's father bought Louis a motorcycle. Man, I want one. I used to have one. Under the law of community property, what property can Louis sell without his wife's consent or signature? A, the boat and house. B, the boat, house, and motorcycle. C, the second home and the motorcycle. Or D, the boat and motorcycle. It is not A. He got gifted something else. And certain and gifts are not community property. So I mean, the boat and the house is correct, but only if you add the motorcycle, because the motorcycle was a gift, even though it was from her father. If that is a gift, that belongs to him. So the answer is 23. B is in boy. The boat, the house, and the motorcycle. Not the second answer. Oh, you switched the answers. Okay, got it. All right, so you changed your mind. And we do that sometimes in the actual exam. So it says, hey, go with your first instinct gut feeling. Some people don't believe in gut feelings, gut and personal instincts, but hey, it does work. Whatever works, right? It does work for some. Because what do you feel when you get scared? Man, sometimes your stomach hurts, right? You get a gut fearing, or you start to tingle, or you get anxious. So there is such a thing as a gut feeling or instinct, the instinct of fear. Like animals have natural instincts, right? However, some people don't believe in that, but it's nature. It's part of individual. It's part of an animal. It's part of our environment. All right, number 24. Caitlin rents an apartment for 1 year. What rights has she acquired under the leasehold? Okay, it's a leasehold, rents an apartment. How long? 1 year. So what rights has she acquired under the leasehold? A, the right to exclude everyone from the premises. B, the right to encumber the fee interest. C, the right to sell the premises. Or D, the right to possess and use the premises. All right, so far I got D from Cindy. So remember, when we're a tenant, can we block the owner from coming to the property if something goes wrong and there's an emergency? No. So we cannot exclude everyone. Excluding everyone, right, would mean the owner. Hey, all of you are on a roll. Check it out. D, 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 D. Yes, the answer is D. The right to possess and use the premises. The right to possess and enjoy. And yes, they get to exclude a lot of people, but not everyone. So little keywords like that, boop, throw it off. All right, number 25. This will be the last national question for the evening, and we'll shift to Texas state questions. Come on, come on. Adjust correctly for me. Let's see here. Yay! All right, number 25. An estate from period to period will continue as long as A, the tenant makes and landlord accepts regular rent payments. B, the term specified in the lease. C, the period is less than a year. Or D, the landlord has not sold the property. So an estate from period to period will continue as long as A, B, C, or D. I know my ABCs. Oh, Sophia, no, it is not B. Take another attempt. B says the term specified in the lease. Well, what if they don't have a written lease? What if it's a verbal lease? And it's period to period. Could be what? Day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. So what would that make it? The answer here is A. Yes, like Deb coming on me, Tanya, Inga. Asia, Cindy, awesome. You get that, Sophia? It's a tenant makes the landlord accepts regular rent payments that it continues on. If there was a written lease and it expired after 12 months, leases usually have a clause that should the tenant stay and the landlord continue to receive payments, receive the money, accepts it, and the tenant continues to pay, then it converts to a month-to-month lease until one or the other decides to terminate. So very good on the national. Y'all are on a roll. So let's transition into Texas state questions. Any questions? So you got it, Sophia. Good. Great. Because if you don't get something, you can ask me, and I'll even do a little bit more research on Google to find a simpler explanation. Sometimes the answers in the book are awesome, but then they still may not make sense to you, right? So I Google it. And for anyone who knows Spanish, they say, lo googleo. And probably in other languages it sounds something similar, but so yes, I speak Spanish and English and used to speak German. So awesome. All right. So I'm going to bookmark this because that's what we'll start on Saturday. All right, so now we're going to go to Texas State. We're starting with question, let's see, question 12.3 on page 204. So it's this one. Come on. Oh, come on, internet. Don't mess up. Okay, it's there. All right, so I guess no questions on the national and bilingual in Spanish like me. Yes, soy bilingüe. Before era trilingüe. I liked it when I knew some German. Say, hola, buenas tardes. And let's see, in German it was wie geht's. And in Japanese it's Ohio when we're saying hello. I was learning Japanese. We had a Japanese partner when I was an engineer. Okay, we're starting with, what did I say, 12.3. Okay, so anyway, if you didn't notice, on the national portion, we were reviewing the rights of individuals, their interest and estates, right? Did I repeat interest and estates quite a bit? What rights do they have? Ownership. We didn't talk a lot of different ownership, but there was what? Legal life, estate, and ordinary life, and they are the owner. Now we're going to go into Texas and talk about Texas Real Estate Commission. So the authority does Texas Real Estate Commission have, and what do they do? Oh, so you're in Chinese. Let's see. I'll go to your question in a moment, Delta. In Chinese, ni hao. Niao or ni hao, something like that, right? Okay, so Delta, so I have to remember that. It says, do you translate contracts to Spanish a lot? Actually, rarely. Usually the owners, because remember, we are not attorneys. We have to be very careful to translate anything. So usually family members, translate them in. Yes, we have to use English contracts. Yet there are some documents that there's, two versions, but the majority of, business is done in English throughout the United States. So if they need to have an explanation, they may go to a Spanish speaking attorney. I can, translate, some of it, but if I screw up, not good. Okay. Because I used to translate really good. Okay. Because I took Spanish as a minor in the university, and I grew up speaking Spanish. However, it's different when you're legally or in engineering trying to translate, because there are many words that we don't use commonly. So in answer to your question, do I translate much? No. Do I communicate in Spanish with my clients? Yes, I do. And on my app on my phone or on the text message, I get to select, English or Spanish when I want to speak or when I want to type. And I'm sure another language speaker may be able to do the same. All right, number 12.3. So this is dealing with Texas Real Estate Commission. Which of the following parties does have to have a license to operate legally? A person who shows his licensed brother's listing to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. B, MLS services who provide listing services but do not get paid for resulting transactions. In other words, they're not representing somebody. Or C, a family member who sells a house she just inherited from her father. Or D, an employee of Burger King who assists in the purchase of a site for their company. Type your answer in the chat. I Google sometimes particular words to translate. However, I do not translate a whole contract. Okay, because remember, we are not attorneys and we cannot be literally translating exactly what a contract. We can read it to them and maybe relate certain things, what certain words mean. But when we start getting to really translating a legal document, then we're exercising the law and we'll get into trouble. But you can translate, a word here or there. I would not recommend it, okay, because we are not attorneys. And our job is to complete the blanks. We can read it to our client. They also have to do their own due diligence and review the contracts. If they have a lot of questions, then we refer them to an attorney. So our job is to, read the contract with them when necessary, ask the questions per the contract, fill in the blanks. And it's best to stick to that. Okay. They have a lot of questions, need to understand it, send them an attorney, or a family can help them. All right. So which of the parties does have to have? So somebody here has to have a license. So it's not D, Deb, like you said, oops. The employee of Burger King, they're employed. They don't have to have a license, okay, for purchasing a site for their company. Yes, this is for the state of Texas, Pilar Calleros. Hi, Pilar. The answer here is actually A person who shows his brother's listing to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. Because only realtors can show property. We can't send anybody else. They have to have access to the lockbox, keys to the house, make sure everything is done correctly the way we are trained and taught and educated. So it has to be a licensed individual. You've got somebody else's home, a major ownership. People used to call it's the the most expensive investment you're going to make. However, an investment becomes an investment when that property is sold and they make a profit. So it's the most expensive. Yes, you call it investment that they're going to make. But the word of investment is if they're buying it and living in it for 2 years and 1 day and selling it and taking the profit, then they're buying it as an investor, but yet living in it for 2 years and a day so that they don't pay capital gains. Okay, so the answer here, did anybody type it? Ooh, no, B. MLS services who provide listing services but do not get paid. No, they are not realtors. They're a neutral third party that is providing a service just to have our listings that we upload, which we, meaning realtors, brokers, okay, that we upload into that service. So it's like, Trulia or Zillow. Zillow was not a broker. Okay, now they're a brokerage. And so they provide all those listings. They don't have to be licensed. They advertise and attract realtors to buy their service from listings that belong to other realtors. Okay. Smart company, but they're taking our listings and selling the leads to other realtors. However, Trulia and Zillow are great resources. They're user-friendly and really easy to use. They're powerful softwares. However, they're not always accurate. Oh, I'll give you an example of how they're not always accurate. Okay, so the answer is A, a person who shows his licensed brother's listings to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of when we say do not totally 100% follow, what is not always accurate. Okay, it's become more and more accurate with the years, Trulia and Zillow. However, I was showing a property and my buyer looks through the Trulia app and then she lets me know the listings and I put them into our MLS app. However, I've learned to use Trulia much better from a buyer's perspective because it is very user-friendly. Well, we're using the app because she's mapping it through the app. So we end up on this property and there's no house there. There's other property. And we're like, oops. So I called the realtor because I looked it up on the MLS and I said, hey, this house is not located here. She says, oh yeah, I just looked it up. It's mapped correctly. I said, no, you're way on the west area of San Antonio. And the Trulia app and our MLS on our app, not on the computer, has it in the central area of San Antonio, which was 20 or 25 minutes away. So we have to be very careful how we trust 100% what's there. Now, do our own MLS apps have errors? Well, yes, but it's not the software. It's the individuals who put the information in there and don't check to make sure that the pin for the map of the actual location of the property is accurate. So not everything is perfectly automatic. We don't live in a perfect world. So there can always be digital errors, human errors, electronic errors, and we have to check, double check, triple check. So anyway, we were following Trulia and the mapping of the properties was not accurate. So we drove to a location. It was like, oops, it's not here. All right. So a Facebook user says, and that is Pilar. I'm from El Paso, but I live in Arizona, studying for my Arizona license. Congratulations. You explained very well. You should do Arizona classes or the national. Yeah, I do a lot of national, Pilar. Thank you for your awesome job. Aw, thank you so much. Hey, I lived in El Paso, El Chuco, they called it. I was there from 82 to 89. I had fun there. I had fun going across the border too, to Juarez. And actually, I worked in the twin plant industry while I was an engineer going to engineering school there at UTEP. All right, okay, so that was number 3. So now we go to number 4. So thank you for your questions. And this is what we're here for. So this is where you can ask questions. It's not like I'm just doing a question, answer, which there are many other YouTube channels that do that. They'll read the question and then read the answer and then go to the next and go to the next. But there are several of us that explain the questions, the topics, and other YouTube channels review a lot of different topics. What I do here is review a lot of questions, and vocabulary to help you with the actual preparation of the exam. So when you start getting a lot of questions incorrect and vocabulary, then go study the concepts. Okay, I did do some concepts. However, I find that many students get frustrated and upset and discouraged and give up when they can't pass the question. The more we practice something, the better we get at it. Okay, I am now cold calling, which I've been very uncomfortable doing. I like to talk, but not necessarily calling individuals I don't know. However, that's an excellent way to get buyers, in addition to how I get some through my YouTube channel. So the more cold calling I do, the more comfortable I become. And what do we also do? We practice scripts every day in the morning for 30 minutes, okay, from 7:30 to 8 o'clock or 7:50, so that we can get ready for cold calling. We practice the script so that we're comfortable with what we're saying and we know what we're going to ask and say when someone answers, and how to help keep them on the phone. And we call it probing. We probe, we ask more questions. So the more questions you do, the better you get at it. The more vocabulary you understand or memorize, the better you can answer the questions. So that's what I do on this YouTube channel. Yeah, your beautiful town. It's grown tremendously. All right, number 4. All of the following are exempt from real estate licensure except one. So 3 statements are exempt from having to have a license, except for one of them. Which one is not exempt? So which one requires that they have a license? A Texas attorney. B, a party acting under the auspices of the court. C, an on-site manager of an apartment complex. Or D, a city mayor who operates a rental agency. So who do you think needs to have a license or must have a real estate license? So what do those of us who have a real estate license is we help and serve someone else in exchange for what? Financial compensation. So we're actually representing somebody and getting paid. So which one best fits that? Hey, Pilar. So you know what? You're getting your license in Arizona now. I used to live in Phoenix, Arizona, but I didn't have a license there. That's where I was an engineer, and in El Paso. So there's certain companies like the one I am with that you can have multiple license and have one brokerage cap. If you want to know more about that, hey, there's a link down in the description. It's called Calendly. Set a 30-minute appointment with me to discuss, what we have to offer and how you can do that, and only pay one cap. Well, let's see. Most of you answered C. Wee. And the answer is D as in dog. A city mayor who owns or who operates a rental agency. So he's dealing with tenants, right? And that is a property manager, right? An on-site manager of an apartment complex. An on-site manager, they are hired by the apartment complex. Okay, this is not a property manager. It is an on-site manager. So they are employed by the complex. They don't require a real estate license. So that's the difference. Okay, this is an on-site manager of an apartment complex. So not a property manager. Well, for them, it might sound like a property manager, but it's just an on-site individual that manages their particular rentals, and they're getting paid a salary or they're getting paid an hourly wage. The city mayor, he operates a rental agency. So to operate a rental agency, we need what? A property management. Therefore, we need a real estate license. Now, if somebody else owns the rental agency and he's getting paid hourly, then not. That would be similar to the apartment complex, having a manager, on-site manager there. Yeah, a real estate property manager has to have a license, because before they can become property managers, okay, these are property managers that did real estate for at least 4 years and then got their license to become a property manager. So they run the whole business, and they are the owners of those properties are entrusting in them, okay, to get tenants, to keep track of utilities, to keep track of all the overheads, to do repair, to take care of repairs, cleaning, update them, and send them the monthly income after overhead. That's a manager of a property that requires a real estate license, because they're not being hired by one individual. They're hired by many individuals when we're a property manager. Okay, so that is different. Property managers, no. Property manager is not an on-site manager. So on-site, they put it that way. They could say the apartment complex has a property manager, but that's their own. So they labeled it as on-site manager because that manager is there from 8 to 5 or whatever hours they're open, right? Like normal business hours. And that's for the apartment complex. So all apartment complex, well, not all, okay. A lot of apartment complexes, okay, have on-site managers that they employ. If somebody is being hired as a property manager, that property manager is hired by different owners, not just by the apartment complex. Okay. So let's see here. They don't, as long as they are living there. Not necessarily. Here where I live at the condominium, we had an on-site manager that managed the property. They did not live here, okay, and they were an employee of the homeowner and association, and she was not a realtor nor a licensed property manager. She only managed these particular condos. Now we have a property management company that manages this HOA. However, they also manage other HOAs. They are a property management company. Two totally different circumstances. One is getting paid by the employer in a one management situation. The other one is employed by many different employers to manage their property and finances and everything else. That is a licensed property manager. Okay, and they don't have to live on site. Okay, they can or they cannot. Sometimes they get benefits, like in really nice apartment complex. They'll get an apartment complex either at a discount or they get it for 100%. But they might have a lower wage, so it just depends. Everyone is different. Kamanani says, got it on my property manager on site, a company noted now. Okay, very good. Two totally different things. So remember, on-site manager. Okay. They either live there or they're there during the day or whatever hours, okay, are associated with that office being open for their apartment complex. Okay, number 5. Do we all got it? Mine's lives. Oh, you have a property manager. Got it on my property manager on site. Okay, so your property manager lives on site. Okay. And so that is a licensed property manager or that's an on-site manager? Because if they're a licensed property manager, then they're only serving you, which they could do. Okay. That's up to the arrangement. Okay. But then they wouldn't be earning a percentage, a commission. Property managers that are licensed are getting paid 5 to 10% of the monthly income that the rentals bring from each of those owners. Okay. So the more rentals they have, occupancy, the more they're going to make. 10% from each month's income on each rental. On-site managers, they're paid by the hour or a salary. Totally different. One is commission, one is salary or hourly. So the commission on a property manager can vary. If they don't hustle enough to make sure that all the apartments, all the units are rented, they're going to make less money. So it's commission based. Okay. On-site managers, not typically commission based. Okay. Okay. So yours is on-site. Okay. Got it. So you own an apartment complex. Cool. I used to. It was a challenge. At least for the one I had. It was in a challenging little town. Nice little town out in the woods. However, it was, like a lumberjack town. Oops. Where am? Oh my goodness. What did I do? Oh, we're on test. I lost focus here. Okay, 12:4. All right. Okay, 12:5. There we go. I moved the wrong thing. Oh. Okay, number 5. William has been named designated broker. Okay, designated broker for the partnership he works with. For this to be acceptable, William must A, be an actively licensed sales agent or broker, B, be a general partner of the firm, C, be an employee of the partnership, or D, must have been affiliated with a firm for a minimum period of 12 months. So they're a designated broker for the partnership that he works with. So usually when you have a partnership or a corporation, you have members, right? Stock owners and different things that go on with it. No, it is not A. Take another attempt. Okay, so they said William has been named designated broker for the partnership he works with. For this to be acceptable, William must be a general partner of the firm. So he works for a partnership. And in that partnership, they require him to be a general partner of the firm that makes decisions. Because remember, when you have the 4 types of ownership, we have severalty, tenants in common, tenants by the entirety, and then joint tenancy. I should do it the other order. Severalty, which is one or an entity. So if they have an entity, then there's usually one general partner that can broker their transactions within them. And they do the signing, okay, for any contracts or documents. And then you have tenants in common, that's 2 or more individuals. Then you have joint tenancy, that's 2 or more, with the condition of T-tip, time, title, interest, possession, right? That they took over the property in the same time, title, interest, possession. And then we have tenants by the entirety, which is married couples. And in Texas, it is community property. So the answer here is B, a general partner of the firm. A designated agent must be officer of the corporation, a general partner of a partnership, or manager of an LLC. So 12.5. Okay, so let me repeat again. So William has been named designated broker for the partnership that he works with. For this to be acceptable, William must be a general partner of the firm. A designated agent or broker must be, so it's somebody that takes responsibility for signing, okay, must be an officer of the corporation, a general partner of the partnership, or a manager of the LLC. So if it's a corporation, call it an officer. If it's a general partnership, then, if it's a partnership like it is here, then it's a general partner. If it is an LLC, then it's a manager of an LLC. So those are the technicalities of LLC, partnerships, and corporations. So go and review the vocabulary on those, the terms. All right, any questions? I'm going to go back here. So Kamanani, what did you mean by why he has both? That was on number A. Those are just the rules for partnerships, okay, corporations, and being a manager of an LLC. So you have some type of ownership. So if you're a general partner of a partnership, you have a certain type of ownership. So they end up designating what individual as a broker. All right. I thought cause, so, and broker. I thought cause, so, and broker. Okay. So he's a designated broker of a partnership. To be that, he's a general broker. May not necessarily mean a licensed broker, but he's the broker of that partnership. Okay. And therefore, they consider him to be a general partner, right? A general partner is an individual that has broad responsibilities, right? Remember the word general? General is broad. Specific is one, very detailed, to the point, to the nitty gritty. But when it's general, like a general in the military, a general topic is very broad. We may not understand it. Okay, so in that partnership, he's got major responsibilities. So they expect him to be, there must be a general partner. Note it, sales agent. Okay. Yeah, because like sales agent, we deal with one specific property at a time. And so a broker in our situation is dealing a responsibility of lots of sales agents, lots of realtors. However, when we're dealing with a particular client, we're dealing with what? A specific property. Property managers are dealing with general responsibilities. So then there's universal agent, and that's when a owner gives them also like a power of attorney, so that they can encumber the property, get loans, get liens, and make decisions without talking to the owner. So that's a universal agent. So every level of agent has a different responsibility and requirements. Oh, they didn't type the number 12.6. So this is 12.6. If an applicant fails to prove to the commission he or she blank, he or she can be denied a license. A, is registered to vote. B, has a net worth over 25,000. C, is honest or trustworthy. D, has an insured car and driver's license. So if an applicant fails to prove to the commission that he or she is blank, he or she can be denied a license. So this is one of the requirements to be accepted as a realtor, right? When we do the application, there's certain questions that we have to answer. Yes, on a roll. C, oui, monsieur. That's from Tyler Perry. I love watching Medea with Tyler Perry. What did I say? This was number 6, C. Okay, very good. Awesome. On a roll, 100%, everybody. Okay, number 7. Oh man, that's a long one. Gotta minimize it some. Oh, come on. Okay, it's gonna be quite small. Well, maybe not so bad. Okay, there we go. To obtain a Texas real estate sales agent license, applicants must, okay, that's a must, complete what? A, 60 hours of real estate principles and 120 hours of finance, law, contracts, forms, and agency. B, 90 hours of real estate principles and 90 hours of law, finance, and agency. C, 120 hours of pre-licensure education and 60 hours of post-license education during the first 2 years of license period. Or D, 90 hours of pre-licensure education and 90 hours of post-license education during the 2-year initial license period. So which one is it? Okay, I'll help you out a little bit. It's 180 hours that we take. Well, all 4 of them have 180 hours. Okay, well, to pass your exam, you have to take 180 hours before you can qualify to take your exam. Yeah, Medea. That character, huh? It's awesome how he plays so many parts at Tyler Perry. Yes, y'all are on a roll. It is a 60 hours of real estate principles, right? You have 2 courses, 30 and 30. And then 30 hours of finance, 30 hours of law, 30 hours of contract forms, and 30 hours of the real estate agency. Very good. By the way, this is not the first time you see these. I mean, I repeat these questions over and over. Once I finish the whole book, I start over again. Why? Because we have to repeat them and repeat them until we get them almost perfect. Or I keep saying, get 100. Medea. Oh, it's Medea, not Medea. Medea. I call her Medea. So it's Medea. All right, did I type the answer? So Asia says that's how they pronounce her name, Medea. All right, she's the mama. She's the mama that everybody respects. And if they don't, man, she's going to slap you around. Right? Oh my gosh, I've seen some of those. One in particular, man, that she slaps this young lady in the back seat. Woohoo! That's like in the old days, man, when the grandmas and my mom would do that. It's just, shut the you know what. Okay, number 8. Which of the following is true regarding license requirements? A, non-resident license applicants must meet special out-of-state education requirements in Texas law. B, non-resident applicants must agree to forfeit any non-Texas real estate license. Oh, doesn't show all of it. C, successful license applicants will be issued an active license, which is sent to the applicant's sponsor and broker. Or D, let me get it all on one page. Oh, come on. Dang. Okay, I can't seem to maneuver. Okay, there. Or D, applicants who have met all requirements will receive an inactive license. Yeah, Kiki Palmer. That's what it was. It's just grandma or mama from New Orleans. She's now having a baby. She was a baby. Now she's having a baby. Wow. Yes, y'all are on a roll. D, it is. Applicants who have met all requirements will receive an inactive license, right? Once we do the application, we get the letter to take the exam, and we can get our fingerprints. As soon as we get that letter, then we take the exam, and when we pass, we become inactive license status. Until when? When do we become active? When do we become an actual realtor? Somebody type that in the chat, please. So you first become inactive as soon as you pass your license exam. That is correct, Cindy. Once we have a sponsoring broker and we accept and they accept our application, then we can assign our inactive license to that broker. So what we do in Texas, we now can go into Track and go to the website, and then we assign the broker, and then the broker pulls our license. Yes. Yes. So when we get a broker, sponsoring broker found, well, not just found. When we have a broker, they accept us, and with the application, there's an agreement between the two. Yes, then we can transfer the license. We can convey the license. No, we can transfer the license. And now it's a lot easier to do. So we find a broker, a sponsor, and we come to an agreement. So there is an application that has to be signed, must be signed with any broker that agrees to take us on as a newbie, a new realtor. Some brokerages do not take beginners, therefore top producing realtors, and many others do. So let's see here. Yes, under a sponsorship of a broker, broker accepts us, correct. Once we pass with assigned broker. Yes, once they accept us on the application. So you will end up, once you pass your exam, or even now, you're probably getting calls and text messages and emails from many recruiters, many realtors that want you to go to their brokerages and offering the benefit that they have. Once you interview with them and one of them comes to be, the one that meets your needs, then you both come into agreement, you fill an application, you pay an application fee, they review it and accept you. And when they accept you, then you can transfer the license and they'll let you know, okay, you've been accepted to our brokerage. You can now transfer the license from Trek to us. What are forms of IDs you can use to prove you're a Texas resident? You can use a driver's license, a Texas ID. You can use I think a passport that has a Texas address. So it has to identify your Texas address. If it is not a driver's license, then a Texas ID could be a veteran's ID that has your address here in Texas. So yes, they cold calling. Yes, a lot of them are cold calling. Yes. And some are very persistent. They're very good at it. Okay, so make sure that you interview a lot. I mean, some of you got emails from me inviting you to attend my free prep classes. And because I used to do it in person, and then I started inviting to do it on Facebook. Now I also do it on YouTube. Actually, I completed 2 years on YouTube in November. So I do send out emails to certain Texas cities, okay, to invite to attend my free classes. And then from there, some of them decide they want to interview with EXP because I am with EXP, and you're going to be interviewing already. Maybe the benefits that we have, what we offer, the education and training and technology, may be a good fit for you, maybe not. So if you're interested, hey, just make an appointment with me on my calendar and we can talk about EXP and I can share a video for you to review. Okay, let's go to our last, I thought we were on number 10. No, we're on number 9. Okay, number 9. So thanks for all the comments and the questions. Number 9, which of the following is true regarding the education requirements for the broker's license? Okay, brokers, not sales agent. A, applicants must complete 630 hours of post-secondary education. B, applicants must complete 900 hours of post-secondary education, including 630 hours of core real estate courses or their approved equivalent. C, applicants with a bachelor's degree or more are deemed exempt from the core 270-hour requirement. Or D, applicants must complete 270 hours of post-secondary education. There's a lot of education. All right, so far we've got BB. Oh, thank you, Kamanani. Says you're different. We've been building relationships. Yeah, I'm not big at cold calling. I'm cold calling for sell by owners and expired listings. Okay, those are people that are already wanting to sell. And of course, many of you are wanting to become a realtor and select a sponsor. So I recommend that you interview with as many sponsors, brokerages that you can until you find the perfect fit or the best fit. There is no perfect, the best fit for you. Yes, the answer is B. Applicants must complete 900 hours, okay, of post-secondary education, including, so if you have a college degree, that can apply towards 630 hours, and that's for the core real estate courses and approved by Texas Real Estate Commission. And then, of course, we have the other 270 hours of core requirement. So I was getting my broker's license when I was first getting my realtor license in Texas. So I already had approved 630 hours because of my college degree. And I was taking my 270 hours. So I was lacking one more course. And, I finished in November and they kept telling me, just go take your exam and do it. You can get your broker later. Well, I never got my broker and I don't really need it. I was a broker in Oregon. However, that's not my goal here. All right. Yes, the answer is B. Okay. 900 hours and 270 are core required hours. The other 630 can be approved by TREC from a bachelor's degree. All right. So let's see what comments we have here. Can you be my mentor even though I'm in Houston? Yes, we can. You can actually join EXP from anywhere in the United States. You can even choose me if you're from another country. I wouldn't be your mentor in another country or in another state because I am licensed in Texas. However, sponsorship with certain brokerages, you have the broker sponsor. And then you have a realtor sponsor, and that's the sponsor that attracted you to that particular agency, and they will be rewarded from your commission a certain percentage from your production. And mentor is a third thing. So certain organizations or brokerages require that you have a mentor for your first 3 transactions, maybe 2, maybe 4. It just depends. And as long as I'm in Texas, yes, I wouldn't know your market as well. However, I can help with transactions, with education, training, other types of mentoring. And so sponsorship is different than mentoring. You have to select, if you choose to go with EXP, Keller Williams, Real, and I'm not sure who else, you select a sponsoring individual. And that individual is rewarded credit of some of your production, a percentage of your production. Okay, perfect. All right, last question for the evening for Texas State. So TREC may waive a broker's education and experience requirements if A, the applicant earned a master's degree in real estate. B, the applicant was a licensed attorney for 2 of the prior 4 years. C, the applicant was a broker for the prior 2 years, completed continuing education requirements, and was active for two of the prior 4 years. D, the applicant was an active sales agent for 4 of the previous 5 years preceding the application. So which one is it? Long descriptions, right? So like Quian, you also know EXP. Awesome. It's an awesome broker. We're a cloud-based company. We're not for everyone. However, you have your office at home, and we attend a lot of awesome Zoom meetings, interact with realtors from throughout the country, and lots of special training and education and awesome technology tools, leading technology. So you think of Amazon, they're on the cloud. You order everything on the cloud and they deliver in person. Well, we're on our office in the cloud and we actually meet with clients in person or through Zoom calls, okay, and through other realtors. Netflix, right? It's all online. So Netflix took over Blockbusters. Okay, Amazon took over like Circuit City. So EXP is taking over brick and mortar companies, or is different than brick and mortar companies. Okay, you don't have to go to an office. Even when there's a brick and mortar company, you don't have to go to an office. You can work out of your home. However, a lot of things that you want to learn in person, you would have to go into the brick and mortar office. With our virtual company, everything that we have accessible is on the cloud, on a Facebook workplace, and and that's like another office for us. That's where we share everything. All right. The answer here is yes, C. The applicant was a broker for the prior 2 years, completed the continuing education requirements, and was active for 2 of the prior 4 years. Okay, so they were a broker. If they still have to get their continuing education, right? Because we have to do that every 2 years. However, they were active 2 of the prior 4 years. And, oh, Kamanani, no, it's not A. The applicant earned a master's degree in real estate? No. You're only allowed 630 hours of core real estate courses, whether it's a bachelor's or a master's. We still are required to take 270 core. Applicants with a bachelor degree, I'm sorry, that's not the correct. So we still are required to take 270 hours of required classes. So 630 would be approved by track or equivalent, and then the other 270 are core classes. Your second guess. Okay. So the answer is 12C. Very good. Okay. Okay, here, Connie. Champion Westside, oops. Champion Westside Houston should be a place you come when I take again my exam prep class next week. Oh, well, Champion is actually its own school, and they allow certain brokerages like Keller Williams, Century 21, and others. They have a leading person in the company to go and do presentations at Champion, but not any realtor, or broker can go and do that. It has to be a representative of a major brokerage. Okay. But yeah, we have a Champion here really close to us. And I've taken some renewal classes from there, or a prep class some time ago. So you take your exam again, prep. So you're going to pass it. Remember, mindset. I have a secret gift for you. Oh, nice. So I love secrets, but I always want to know. EXP come before. All right. So any questions before we call it a night? So just keep in mind, I don't just tutor. I also am an active realtor. In fact, I wrote 4 contracts in the last week and a half, and 2 are accepted. Right now, 2 are in negotiation. So I've really jump-started my business. And so I relaunched my business to get into big production. And I'm cold calling to get listings using a software, a program, a lead generating company called Vulcan 7. All right, thank you. So yeah, share my YouTube channel, YouTube Agent Prep, with other students, okay, that need help passing. There's a lot of good channels, okay? Mine's a little bit different, but it's the same thing, educating on vocabulary and questions. I have a lot of vocabulary videos already done, and I don't do a lot of them on live because there's usually very low participation, and I've done a lot of different ones. But the questions and answers, I get to explain, and keywords, point out things, and emphasize certain sections of the questions or the answers. Okay. And so I have found that useful. So I greatly appreciate all of you attending and recommending my channel, or you recommending this. And if you're watching on YouTube, hey, make sure you tap that subscribe button. If this is the first time that you visit my channel, click that little bell so you're the first to get notified every time I go live or I post up a video. And give me a thumbs up on this video if you found it useful. If you didn't, don't give me a thumbs down, right? If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything, right? It's good to be positive and pleasant with everyone else. Replay work well. I have made it this far. Yes, you have. Replay. You say next, next. That's what we do in real life and real estate. If a deal that we have falls apart, we do whatever we can, okay, to make it close. But if it's out of our control, then we say next. In fact, these 4 clients I have right now, I have written more than one offer for each one. In fact, I think for all 3, for 3 of them, we have presented 3 offers for each of them, okay? And one of them probably more. All right. Oh, happy holidays. Does that mean you're not coming back until after the holidays? If that's the case, have an awesome holidays, okay? I will be working through the month of December. A lot of realtors take off. I keep working. Better opportunities when we keep going. All right, y'all. Until next time. Catch you later. Love ya. Oh, love ya. Woo! Sending you kisses. Hope to meet a lot of you or all of you someday.